Now she refuses to leave my bedside and somehow I don't want her to. The rain had stopped sometime in the night, but Seattle's gray clung to the edges of everything, like a bad habit you couldn't quite shake. I woke to the soft rasp of her breathing, inches from my face, her warmth seeping through the thin hospital sheet they'd insisted on even here, in my own damn bedroom. Jamie, my best friend since that godforsaken freshman orientation at UW, where we'd bonded over stolen sips of cheap Merlot and dreams of escaping this drizzly corner of the world. Now she was curled in the armchair they'd dragged bedside, her head lolling against the quilt I'd made from old concert tees Metallica and Nirvana, the ones that smelled like faded rebellion and better days. Her hand rested on the edge of the mattress, fingers splayed like she was afraid I'd vanish if she let go. I should have hated it. The way she'd commandeered my space, shoving aside my half-finished sketches and the takeout containers crusted with pad thai from last week's pity party. The doctor said it was just a flare-up mono turned rogue. Some virus that latched onto my immune system like a bad ex and wouldn't let go. But Jamie? She treated it like the apocalypse. Refusing to leave, even when I snapped at her to go grade papers or chase that promotion she pretended not to care about. "I'm fine," I'd growl, my voice cracking like dry leaves underfoot. But she just fixed those ocean blue eyes on me, the ones that could unravel a room full of rowdy teens with a single arched brow, and whispered, "You're not. And neither am I without you here." God, why did that twist something deep in my chest? A hook in my ribs, pulling until I couldn't breathe right. I'd always known she was the steady one, the lighthouse in my storm of freelance deadlines and midnight doubts. But this refusal to budge, it cracked open doors I'd bolted shut years ago. Doors to feelings I'd buried under flings with guys who never stuck. Under the easy label of straight but curious, that let me sleep at night. Now with fever sweat beating on my forehead and the taste of regret bitter on my tongue, I wanted her closer. Needed it like air after drowning. The clock on my nightstand blinked 6:47 a.m. its red glow mocking the pale light sneaking past the blinds. Outside, the city hummed awake horns blaring on I-5, the distant wail of a ferry horn cutting through the fog. I shifted, wincing as pain lanced through my joints, and her eyes fluttered open instantly, like she'd been waiting. "Hey," she murmured, voice husky from sleep, thick like the espresso she'd brew later, the kind that filled the apartment with that nutty, grounding aroma that said home. She straightened, brushing a stray blonde curl from her face, and reached for the water glass, her callous fingertips from years of chalkboards and dog-eared novels brushing mine as she pressed it to my lips. I drank slow, the coolness sliding down my throat like mercy. Our gazes locked, and there it was again, that electric hum, low and insistent, like the buzz of neon signs in Pioneer Square after dark. "Jamie, you gotta go home. Shower. Eat something that isn't my expired granola bars." My words came out softer than I meant, laced with that whine I hated, the one that begged without saying it. She shook her head, a small smile tugging at her lips, the kind that dimpled her left cheek and made my stomach flip. "Not happening, Alex. Deal with it." Her free hand found mine under the sheet, thumb stroking the back in lazy circles, sending sparks up my arm. Warmth bloomed there, uninvited, chasing the chill from my bones. I should have pulled away. Should have cracked a joke about her turning into my personal nurse Ratched, complete with that faded mariner's hoodie she wore like armor. But I didn't. I leaned into it just a fraction, letting her hold me together when I felt like I was fraying at the edges. By noon, the apartment sweltered under the weak October sun, filters clogged from disuse, the air heavy with the faint tang of antiseptic wipes she'd snuck in from her sister's clinic. She'd propped open the window, letting in the briny slap of waves from the sound and the chatter of gulls wheeling overhead. I dozed fitfully, dreams tangled with memories, her laughter echoing in the halls of our old dorm, the way she'd crash on my couch after breakups, her head in my lap as we binge-watched The L Word, pretending it was just research, waking to her humming some indie folk tune, voice soft as sea glass, while she chopped onions for soup in my tiny kitchen. The sizzle of butter in the pan, the sharp bite of garlic hitting hot oil, it all wrapped around me like a blanket I didn't know I was freezing without. "Smells like heaven," I mumbled, cracking an eye as she carried in the bowl, steam curling up like secrets. She perched on the bed's edge, careful not to jostle the four-stand they'd rigged up, her knee brushing mine through the fabric. That touch lingered, a question mark hanging between us. "It's just chicken noodle. Grandma's recipe." She spooned some up, blowing gently, her breath stirring the steam. "Open wide, tough guy." The nickname from our college days when I'd drag her hiking up to Rattlesnake Ledge, pretending I wasn't showing off. I rolled my eyes but parted my lips, letting her feed me. The broth was salty warm, noodles soft, carrots crisp enough to crunch faintly. Each swallow grounded me, pulled me back from the edge where fever blurred the world into watercolor smears. We ate in silence at first, broken only by the tick of the radiator kicking on, a low groan like an old man's sigh. Then she set the bowl aside, wiping her mouth with the back of her hand, and leaned in. Too close. Her scent lavender soap and that vanilla candle we burned during power outages wrapped around me, dizzying. "Alex," she started, voice dropping to that confessional timbre she used for late-night heart-to-hearts. "I can't keep pretending this is just friendship duty. Seeing you like this, it rips me open. Every time you wince, every shallow breath, it's like my heart's in a vice." I froze, spoon halfway to my mouth, broth dripping onto the sheet in a dark spot that spread like ink. Her eyes, those damn eyes, shimmered with unshed tears, reflecting the light like fractured sapphires. "Jamie," my throat closed around her name, the word heavy with everything unsaid. The parties where I'd watched her dance with women, fluid and free, while I nursed a beer in the corner, telling myself it was envy of her ease, not her. The way she'd crash into my life post-heartbreak. Always her with the guys who didn't get it. And I'd patch her up with ice cream in bad movies, my arm around her shoulders feeling too right, too dangerous. "I'm scared," she whispered, hand cupping my cheek, thumb tracing the fever flush there. Her touch seared, not from heat but from the rawness of it, skin to skin like we'd never touched before. "Scared you'll slip away before I get to say it. That I've waited too long. Buried it under best friends forever bullshit, because I couldn't risk losing you." The room tilted, or maybe it was just me, world narrowing to the press of her palm, the hitch in her breath like a sob held back. Rain started again outside, pattering against the glass in a staccato rhythm that matched my pulse. I turned my face into her hand, lips brushing her wrist, tasting salt and pulse. Say what? But I knew. God, I knew. It hung there electric, the air crackling like before a storm. "That I love you." The words tumbled out, soft as snowfall but heavy as lead. Not like sisters, not like roommates. Like I want to wake up to your messy hair every morning. Fight over the remote. Build a life where your sketches hang on our walls and my books clutter every shelf. Like I've been in love with you since that stupid orientation mixer. When you spilled wine on my shoe and laughed like it was the end of the world. My breath caught, a ragged inhale that echoed in the quiet. Tears pricked my eyes, hot and unbidden, spilling over to trace salty paths down my temples. The pain in my body faded to a dull roar, drowned out by the thunder in my chest. "Jamie." It was all I could manage, my hand finding hers, fingers interlocking like puzzle pieces long separated. She leaned closer, forehead to mine, breaths mingling in shared space, warm and minty from the gum she chewed when nervous. "Don't leave me," I whispered, the confession ripping free like a bandage torn off. "I don't want you to. Ever." Her sob broke then, muffled against my shoulder as she folded into me, arms wrapping gentle but fierce around my fragile frame. The bed creaked under us, sheets tangling as we held on. The world outside fading to white noise, the rain's hush, the distant rumble of traffic, all of it bowing to this moment. We stayed like that until dusk bled purple through the windows, her heartbeat syncing with mine, slow and sure. The soup went cold on the nightstand, forgotten. In the dimming light, she pulled back just enough to kiss my forehead, lips lingering like a promise. "I'm not going anywhere," she murmured, voice thick with relief and something fiercer, like fire banked but burning. "We're in this. Together." Night fell heavy, the city lights twinkling like distant stars through the drizzle. She helped me shift pillows, her hand steady where mine shook, tucking the quilt around us both. We talked then, words spilling like the rain endless, circling back to what ifs and maybes. That time in college when she'd almost kissed me during a blackout, lips hovering in the dark, both of us too chicken to bridge the gap. The flings we'd hidden behind, shields against the truth staring us down. Laughter bubbled up between us, sharp and healing, cutting through the fear like sunlight through clouds. By midnight, exhaustion pulled at me, eyelids heavy as lead. She dimmed the lamp, its glow casting golden halos on her face as she settled beside me, not in the chair this time, but on the bed's edge, hand in mine. "Sleep, Alex," she whispered, fingers weaving through my hair, nails scraping lightly against my scalp in that rhythm she'd learned soothed me after deadlines. The scent of her vanilla clung to the sheets, mingling with the faint lavender of my shampoo, creating something uniquely us. As I drifted, her voice wove through the haze, soft recitations from her favorite poetry Whitman. I think, lines about bodies electric and loves that dare not speak their names. Fitting. In this city of hidden depths and sudden revelations. My last conscious thought was of her refusing to leave not a burden, but a lifeline. And damn if I didn't want to grab it with both hands. Dawn crept in again, sneaky as a thief, painting the walls in hues of peach and ash. I stirred to the clink of ceramic, the rich gurgle of the coffee maker wheezing to life in the kitchen. Jamie's side of the bed empty but warm, the imprint of her body a ghost that made my fingers twitch toward it. Voices murmured low from the hall, her sister on speakerphone, no doubt drilling her on dosages and vitals like a drill sergeant in scrubs. "She's stubborn, Em. But she's eating. Promise." I smiled despite the ache blooming fresh in my temples, pounding like bass from a dive bar on Capitol Hill. Pushing the covers back, I swung my legs over the edge, toes curling against the cool hardwood scarred from years of spilled paint and late-night dances. Standing was a gamble, feet unsteady, knees buckling like wet noodles, but I gripped the bedpost, breaths coming shallow, determined. Freedom, even if it tasted like sweat and vertigo. The bathroom mirror threw back a stranger hollow-cheeked, auburn strands matted to my forehead, hazel eyes bruised with shadows. But there was color in my cheeks, faint from her. From us. I splashed water, cold shock slapping sense into me, droplets racing down my neck like tears I hadn't shed yet. Toothbrush in hand, mint foam bubbling. I caught my reflection mid-scrub and paused. Who was this woman, cracked open and remade in one fevered night? Alex. Her call from the doorway, soft with worry, snapped me back. She leaned against the frame, arms crossed over that hoodie, blonde waves tousled from sleep. Mug in hand, steam rising like an offering. "What are you doing up?" "Doctor's orders, bed rest, remember." I rinsed, spitting with more force than needed, the porcelain echoing my defiance. Pissing without an audience, for starters. The joke landed flat, but her laugh bubbled up anyway, warm and unforced, easing the knot in my gut. She handed me the mug, fingers brushing in that now familiar spark. "Black, 2 sugars. Just how you like it to fuel your inner caffeinated gremlin." We shuffled back to bed, her arm looped loose around my waist, supporting without smothering. The coffee scalded my tongue, bitter edge softened by sweetness, mirroring the tangle in my chest. We settled against the headboard, legs tangled under the quilt, the morning unfolding lazy outside. Fairies hooted their way across the sound, a barge's horn deep and mournful. She pulled out her phone, scrolling lesson plans with one hand, the other tracing idle patterns on my thigh through the sheet. "Kids are reading The Great Gatsby this week," she said, voice pitching up in that teacher enthusiasm that always made me grin. "Debating if Daisy's a victim or a villain. What do you think?" I sipped, considering, the steam fogging my glasses I'd forgotten I was wearing. "Both. She's trapped in that gilded cage, but she chooses the bars every time. Like me once. Choosing safe over scary, labels over leaps. Reminds me of us, maybe. Before." Her thumb stilled, eyes lifting to mine, sharp and searching. "Before what?" "Before you parked your ass here and flipped the script." I set the mug down, turning to face her fully, the shift sending a twinge through my ribs. Her proximity hit like a wave, lavender and coffee, her breath a soft hitch. "Jamie, last night I meant it. But this is huge. I'm a mess, literally. What if? Stop. Her finger to my lips, gentle but firm. Nail bitten short from stress. No what ifs. Not today. She leaned in, replacing finger with lips a brush, tentative, testing. Soft as petals, tasting of salt and promise. My world narrowed to that point of contact. Heart slamming like drums in a rock anthem. I kissed back, slow, exploratory, hand cupping her jaw, thumb stroking the pulse fluttering there. When we broke, breaths ragged, she rested her forehead against mine. Eyes closed, lashes dark fans on her cheeks. I've imagined that 1,000 times, she confessed, voice whisper rough. But reality? Better. Scarier. We lost the morning to touches mapping new territories, her fingers in my hair, tugging gentle, my palm flat on her back, feeling ribs rise and fall. Laughter when my fore tugged, a sharp yank that had us both cursing softly, giggling like kids caught sneaking cookies. The outside world intruded mid-afternoon. Her phone buzzing insistent with texts from work. Principal's on my case, she groaned, reading aloud in a mock stern voice. Ms. Harper, your sub-reports say you're AWOL. Students miss your dramatic readings. Colin Gay, I teased, winking, the word slipping easy now, fitting like a glove. Her bark of laughter echoed off the walls, chasing shadows. But as evening crept in, the high faded, reality's undercurrent pulling strong. Pain meds wore off, joints screaming like rusted hinges, fever spiking hot under my skin. She noticed instantly, brow furrowing. Hand to my forehead, clammy and sure. Ice pack, she muttered, already moving, efficient as a battlefield medic. The cool compress she pressed to my neck was bliss, melting tension. But it couldn't touch the deeper chill, the fear whispering that this virus wasn't done with me yet. She brewed tea chamomile, her go-to for frayed nerves, the steam-carrying herbal calm. Honey swirled in golden threads. We sipped on the fire escape, bundled in blankets against the chill wind whipping off the water, city lights smearing below like a Van Gogh fever dream. Remember that trip to the Olympics? She asked, voice soft over the traffic hum. Hiking to Sol Duc, you twisting your ankle on that route, me carrying you the last mile like some lesbian night in shining Patagonia. I chuckled, the memory vivid, mud squelching under boots, her back broad and steady under my weight, sweat beading on her neck as she joked about dropping me in a hot spring. You threatened to leave me for a bear. Said it had better conversation. Liars and poets both. Her arm around me tightened, pulling me into her side, chin resting on my head. The city sprawled endless, bridges arched like promises, but up here it was just us, wrapped in wool and warmth, the salt air sharp on my tongue. Night deepened, stars pricking the velvet sky. Rare glimpses through the marine layer. Back inside, she helped me into fresh pajamas, soft flannel. Buttons cool against fevered skin, her fingers lingering on each fastening. Eyes dark with intent. We slid under covers, bodies aligning natural as breathing. Her leg hooked over mine. Hand splayed possessive on my hip. Tell me a story, I murmured, exhaustion tugging. Her heartbeat a lullaby under my ear. She obliged, voice weaving tales of alternate lives, us opening a bookstore in Fremont, shelves groaning with queer lit and graphic novels, road tripping Route 66 in a vintage VW, chasing sunsets and dive bar jukebox kisses. Words painted vivid, her descriptions rich with detail, the creak of floorboards in our imagined home, the sizzle of pancakes on lazy Sundays, syrup sticky on fingers intertwined. Sleep claimed me mid-sentence, her voice fading to a hum, but in dreams we lived them all, fierce, flawed, forever. Waking once to midnight thunder, rain lashing windows like applause, her arms tightening, instinctive, murmuring nonsense comforts into my hair. I've got you. Over and over, a mantra against the storm. Morning found us tangled, sheets a battlefield of limbs and laughter. She woke first, peppering my shoulder with lazy kisses, each one a spark igniting slow. Good morning, beautiful, she breathed, nose nuzzling my neck, sending shivers unrelated to illness. Breakfast in bed, toast charred at edges, jam smeared like abstract art, her apologies dissolving into giggles as we fed each other bites, crumbs dusting the quilt. But the day turned when the call came. Doctor's office, voice clipped over the line. Blood works concerning Ms. Reed. We need you in for scans. Could be complications. The words landed like punches, sucking air from the room. Jamie's face drained, hand crushing the phone, knuckles white. When? She demanded, voice steel where mine quavered. Tuesday. Don't panic yet. But panic bloomed anyway, thorny and tight in my throat. She hung up, turning to me with forced calm, but her eyes betrayed the storm oceans churning. It's nothing, she lied, pulling me close, embrace fierce. We'll face it. Like always. We spent the afternoon in denial's embrace, walks around the block. Her arm linked mine, pointing out absurdities, a mural of Sasquatch in drag. The barista at Vivace who winked like he knew our secret. Laughter brittle but real. A shield against the what lurking. Dinner was takeout from that hole-in-the-wall faux joint. Broth steaming with basil and lime. Childs biting back the blandness of fear. As night fell, vulnerability cracked us open again. Curled on the couch, some rom-com flickering, ignored on Netflix. Her head in my lap. I carted fingers through her hair. Silk under calluses from pencils and pointers. What if it's bad? The question slipped, small and sharp. She sat up, framing my face, thumbs wiping tears I hadn't felt fall. Then we fight. Dirty, ugly, whatever it takes. But I'm not losing you, Alex. Not to some virus, not to fear. Her kiss then was claiming, deep and desperate. Tongues tangling with the salt of sorrow and sweetness of survival. We tumbled to the bedroom, movements slow. Reverent hands exploring curves and hollows. Breath sinking in gasps and sighs. In the afterglow, slick and sated, bodies pressed close. She traced tattoos on my ribs, a compass rose. Inked after a breakup, pointing nowhere. This? We'll redraw it. Together. Sleep came easy then. Her refusal a anchor in the dark. Tuesday dawn vicious, sky bruised purple over Elliott Bay. Wind howling like a banshee through the cracks in the old sash windows. I dressed slow, each button a battle. Jamie hovering like a shadow, hand steadying when mine shook. Murmuring encouragements that tasted like lies. You've got this, she said, tying my sneakers, laces double knotted. Her own nerves betrayed by the white-knuckled grip on the tongue. The drive to Swedish Medical Center crawled. Traffic clotting on the 99 like congealed blood. Radio droning, some classic rock station, Springsteen wailing about ghosts on the boardwalk, fittingly bleak. Check-in was a blur, fluorescent lights buzzing overhead like angry hornets. The antiseptic sting burning my nostrils. Forms crinkling under my clammy palms. Jamie filled them out. Pen scratching furious, her leg bouncing against mine in the vinyl chair that stuck to skin. Waiting room purgatory, families hushed. A kid's toy beeping electronic nursery rhymes. The coffee machine gurgling sludge no one drank. She squeezed my hand, thumb rubbing circles, anchor in the nausea roiling my gut. Alexandra Reed? The nurse's call jolted us, voice echoing off linoleum. Jamie stood with me, chin lifted defiant, but I waved her back. Stay. Please. Her nod was quick, relief flickering in those blue depths. The scan room chilled me to the bone. Machine looming like a coffin, white and humming, text voice muffled through mask. Lie still, breathe normal. I did, eyes squeezed shut, mind racing to her face, the dimple, the freckles dusting her nose like constellations. Whirs and clicks filled the space, magnetic pulls tugging at fillings at my resolve. Minutes stretched eternal, sweat prickling under the gown, paper crinkling with every shallow inhale. Out in recovery she waited, vending machine coffee clutched like a talisman, steam long gone. All done. Her arms enveloped me before I answered, solid and scented of rain-damp wool. We didn't speak on the ride home, just her hand on my knee, radio off, the slap of wipers the only sound. Afternoon dragged in limbo, me pacing the apartment's confines, floorboards creaking protest, Jamie shadowing with offers of tea or trash TV. Sit, she finally commanded, gentle but firm, guiding me to the couch, knees buckling anyway. She knelt, unlacing boots with care, massaging arches till tension uncoiled like smoke. Results tomorrow. One day at a time. We cooked together then, Distraction and domesticity chopping veggies with erratic thwacks. Onions stinging eyes already raw. Stir-fry sizzled in the wok. Garlic popping like fireworks. Soy and ginger perfuming the air thick and savory. We ate cross-legged on the floor. Plates balanced on knees, chopsticks clacking. Stealing bites with grins that didn't reach our eyes. Remember that time in Portland, food cart crawl till we puked rainbows? She said, voice light, chasing levity. I laughed, chopsticks spearing a broccoli floret. Neon lights and regret. You do it again. In a heartbeat. With you. Always. Her gaze held mine, fork paused midair. The weight of it settling soft, profound. Evening brought the storm's crescendo, thunder rumbling distant, lightning strobing the skyline like paparazzi flashes. We retreated to bed early, windows rattling, rain sheeting in relentless curtains. Curled spoonwise, her front to my back, hands splayed protective over my belly, breath sinking slow. Tell me about your first design gig, she whispered, lips brushing my ear, warm exhalations tickling. Words flowed easy then. Memory unspooling the dingy office in Belltown. Client a startup with big dreams and no budget. My sketches trembling on the table as the boss leaned in. Cigar smoke choking the air. Nailed it, he'd grunted, slapping my back hard enough to bruise. Her hum vibrated through me, approval deep as bone. Knew you were magic. Turnabout, I coaxed her stories, tales of first-grade triumphs. The kid who finally read aloud without stuttering, tears in his eyes. Prom chaperoned with secret eye rolls at the drama. Laughter wove through fear. A threadbare but tenacious weave. Sleep stolen gradual, her fingers lacing mine. Refusing release even in dreams. Wednesday's call shattered the fragile peace. Doctor's voice tinny over speaker. Inflammation markers elevated, but no organ involvement. Aggressive antibiotics, rest monitoring. You'll pull through. Relief crashed like a wave, leaving us sodden and gasping. Jamie hooped, spinning me in a clumsy waltz till dizziness forced a stop. Foreheads pressed, tears mingling salty. Emboldened, we ventured out that afternoon, Lake Union Park. Autumn leaves crunching underfoot, copper and gold swirling in eddies. Ducks quacked indignant from the water. Paddleboards slicing ripples, the air crisp with pine and wet earth. She spread a blanket under a madrona. Bark peeling like old paint. Unpacking picnic from a battered basket, cheese. Crackers, that illicit bottle of Pinot we'd saved from a vineyard jaunt in Walla Walla. Wine loosened tongues, cheeks flushing from alcohol and autumn bite. I almost told you once, she confessed, stem glass cradled. Legs stretched toward the lapping shore. Senior year, after that party at the frat house. You were drunk on tequila, ranting about corporate sellouts, and I just watched you, fire in your eyes, and thought, this is home. I leaned into her shoulder, wool of her sweater rough against my cheek. I felt it too. Pulled away because safe's easier. Regret tasted tart like the wine's finish. No more running. Her kiss caught the sun, lazy and lingering, lips chilled but warming quick. Around us joggers blurred past, dogs splashed glee, the world indifferent but alive. We dozed tangled blanket cocoon. Waking to geese honking overhead, V-formation southbound. Home by dusk, energy flagged but spirits high. We lit candles, beeswax flickered dancing shadows, filling the space with honeyed glow. Dinner was pasta Alfredo, cream bubbling rich, Parmesan grating fine as snow. Over bowls steaming, forks twining noodles, we planned tentative futures art shows for my portfolio. Her MFA applications dusted off. Our place, she said, eyes bright. Bayview maybe. Room for a studio and a library. Nodding, heart full, I traced her knuckles, scarred from paper cuts and life's small wars. With a bed big enough for this. Gesture encompassing us, messy and miraculous. Night deep and intimate, bodies rediscovering in candlelight, hands mapping freckles like stars, sighs swallowed in kisses deep as the sound. Her name on my lips a prayer, breaths hitching in unison. The rain's patter applause to our rhythm. After slick and spent, she traced my spine, fingers light as moth wings. You're my anchor, Alex. In every storm. Sleep wrapped us gentle, dreams of horizons shared. No refusals needed because leaving wasn't an option. Weeks blurred into a rhythm fragile but forming. Mornings her brewing coffee, me sketching from bed. Lines flowing freer now, inspired by the curve of her hip in dawn light. Afternoons walks to the market, bags bulging with heirloom tomatoes and crusty baguettes, haggling with vendors in playful banter. Evenings curled with books, hers dog-eared Austen, mine graphic memoirs, laughter over plot twists, feet entwined. But cracks showed flares of fatigue, dropping me mid-sentence, her worry etching lines around her eyes. Late nights scrolling WebMD till I snatched the phone, pulling her close instead. Enough, I'd murmur, lips to temple. We're here. Now. One such night, storm raging anew, thunder cracking like whips, I woke sweating, chills racking bones. She stirred instant, hand to brow, voice sleep rough. Fever again? Nodding, teeth chattering, I burrowed into her, seeking furnace. She fetched meds, water glass clinking, then held me through shivers, humming low that folk tune from before, vibrations soothing like a cat's purr. Dawn brought abatement, sun-piercing clouds in rare glory, gilding the room. Honey, you're a warrior, she whispered, kissing knuckles bruised from clenching sheets. Breakfast was oatmeal steel-cut, cinnamon wafting sweet, her spoon-feeding bites, eyes locked in quiet vow. Recovery inched forward, doctor visits yielding thumbs up, antibiotics tapering. We celebrated small pizza from Pagliacci, pepperoni grease slick on fingers, laughter echoing as cheese stretched endless strings. To us, she toasted with root beer fizzing, foam mustache comical. But beneath the refusal evolved not just bedside but life. Her subbing less, crashing here permanent, closet spilling into mine, sundresses mingling with hoodies. Our mess, she called it, grinning over laundry piles. Conflict brewed subtle, her principals' emails piling, guilt shadowing her smiles. They need me, she confessed one twilight, balcony perch, city lights winking below. But you need me more. Shaking head, I pulled her close, wind tugging hair. We need you whole. Go teach. Come back to this. Kiss sealing it, fierce and freeing. She did, first day back, nerves jangling like keys, me pacing till her key scraped the lock. Survived, she announced, dumping bag, papers avalanche. We decompressed with wine and what-ifs, her tales of classroom chaos, mine of client calls dodged. Balance tip tentative, her refusal transforming partnership, not prison. Bedside vigils faded, replaced by shared mornings, coffee shared, sketches critiqued, kisses stolen over keyboards. Yet in quiet moments, fear lingered, whisper soft. One evening, post-flare relapse minor but mean, she curled beside me anew, hand vigilant on my chest. Not leaving, she murmured, echo of beginnings. Good, I breathed, turning into her, lips finding pulse. Don't. Winter clamped down hard, Seattle's chill seeping through cracks, frosting windows in fern patterns that mimicked our tangled mornings. Recovery plateaued, energy a fickle tide ebbing with gray skies, surging on rare blue days. Jamie's rhythm synced to mine, school days, her bursting through the door at 3, cheeks flushed from playground duty, tails tumbling like autumn leaves. Little Timmy drew a rainbow flag today unprompted. Said his aunties have one. Her pride beamed, hand squeezing mine over lesson plans spread on the coffee table. I'd grin, pulling her down for a kiss that tasted of chalk dust and cherry chapstick. Future revolutionary. Your influence. Afternoons blurred into collaborative chaos, her grading papers while I inked logos on my tablet, stylus scratching digital, her pen scratch analog harmony. Dinners experimental, her veggie stir-fries spicy with sriracha kick. My pasta bakes cheesy and forgiving. Laughter over burnt edges, wine toasting small victories. But the illness lingered, specter, flares ambushing like Seattle fog rolling sudden. One February eve, post-parent-teacher conferences, she came home hollow-eyed, slinging bag with a thud that echoed fatigue. Rough one. Moms in pearls judging my lifestyle choices. Air quotes sharp, hurt veiled in sarcasm. I drew her to the couch, knees tucked under, rubbing shoulders knotted tight as ropes. Their loss. Your gold. Words simple, but her sigh released, head lolling back. Exposing throat I traced with lips soft, reassuring. Stay tonight? No grading marathons. She nodded, melting into me. Hands finding waist under sweater. Fingers splaying warm. Always. We migrated to bed early. Storm brewing outside, wind whistling eaves. Rain drumming urgent. Clothes shed lazy, layers peeling like onion skins. Revelations in candle flicker, her freckles constellation across collarbone. My tattoos stories inked. Touches reverent slow. Mapping scars, invisible illnesses, etchings. Breaths mingling, sighs and gasps building crescendo. After slick sheets cooling, she pillowed on my chest. Heartbeat thunder under her ear. Love this US. Even the hard parts. Voice drowsy, fingers circling navel lazy. Me too. Honesty raw, throat tight. Sleep took her first breaths evening out, but I lay wakeful, staring ceiling cracks like maps to nowhere. Fear gnawed, what if the virus mutated? What if her patience frayed? Dawn found me tracing her profile, memorizing lashes fanned, lips parted soft. Spring teased early. Crocuses pushing defiant through mulch in the community garden plot we'd claimed. We tended it weekends, knees muddied. Trowels clinking, soil rich and loamy, worms wriggling pink. Basil here, she directed, pointing, hair-tied bandana. Dirt smudged nose adorable. Tomatoes, they're sun lovers. I complied, shovel biting earth, sweat beating despite chill. Bossy, I teased, flicking mud her way, splatter on cheek. Her retaliation, snowball of compost. Laughter peeling. Chasing till we collapsed, giggling, backs to fence. Hands clasped, mud caked. Harvest brought bounty, salads crisp with romaine snap. Pesto whirring blender blades. Basil's green punch. We hosted tentative first dinner, her sister Emma. Wiry and rye. Toasting with IPA's foamy. To queer miracles, she quipped. Clinking bottles. Eyes twinkling over the label. Emma's visit stretched. Crashing on the futon. Regaling with clinic war stories, hypochondriacs and heartaches. You too? Grossly cute. Makes me believe in love. Her hug fierce goodbye, promising check-ins. But undercurrent pulled works tied for her. Summer break looming, but applications for department heads stacking pressure. Late nights her at the table, laptop glow illuminating furrowed brow. Coffee mugs ring stains. I'd brew fresh, shoulder massage, whispers encouragement. You're killing it. They see that. One midnight she slammed the lid, head in hands. What if not enough? If they picked the straight-laced suit over me? Vulnerability cracked. Tears hot on my palms as I knelt, framing face. Then their loss. Again. You're more than enough for me. Kiss ceiling, slow burn leading to bedroom frenzy desperate. Reclaiming control in sheets twisted. Moans muffled pillows. Nails raking backs, red trails. Morning after, sunlight slanting gold, we walked Green Lake path. Ducks paddling serene, joggers huffing past. Let's get away, I proposed, hand swinging hers. Cabin? Olympics again. Her yes-lit face, planning feverish maps poured. Pack stuffed flannel and forecasts. Road trip north, winding 101 hairpin turns. Evergreens towering sentinel. Mist cloaking peaks. Cabin creaked welcome, wood smoke curling chimney. Lake mirror still reflecting pines. Days unspooled, lazy hikes, boots crunching needles. Echoes whoops off cliffs. Evenings fire crackling, marshmallows toasting golden. Gooey strings on fingers licked clean. Nights lovemaking urgent then tender. Floorboards groaning rhythm. Loons calling eerie counterpoint. One dusk, porch swing creaking chains, her head my lap. I sketched her profile, pencil whispering paper. Capturing jaws curve, eyes distant thoughtful. What's brewing? I asked, smudging shadow. Futures. Voice soft, hand on belly musing. Kids? Maybe. Or just us, traveling till we're wrinkled. Laughter light but seed planted, warmth blooming. Return city clamor assaulted. Horns blaring, sidewalks thrumming. Back to routines, her summer workshops. Me pitching designs, coffee shops buzzing pitches. Flares rarer, strength building, stair climbing, sands winded. Runs tentative, pounding pavement slap. July 4th fireworks boomed over the sound, bursts crimson and sapphire, reflections dancing water. We watched from Alki Beach blanket spread, fingers laced her head shoulder. Independence, she murmured, sparkler hissing bright. Ours now. Kiss amid pops and cheers, crowd blur, world ours alone. Home late, buzzed on beer and bliss, love-making languid windows open, bay breeze cooling skin, moans lost in distant booms. August heat wave baked streets, asphalt shimmering waves, fans whirring futile. We escaped to Discovery Park, trails shaded fern-fringed, beachcombing agates smooth in palms. See that? She pointed, shell spiral pocked. Like us, twisted but beautiful. Picnic prosciutto and fig sticky sweet. Wine-chilled condensation beating bottle. Conversation meandered, dreams deferred, my gallery show pitched. Nerves knotting. Her sabbatical idea, writing queer YA. Support you, I vowed, grapes popping juice tart. Affirmation kiss deepened. Hidden in dunes, grasses whispering. Hands roaming urgent. Sand gritting, skin thrill of exposure. Pulled back breathless, grinning conspirators. Fall semester loomed, her prep manic binders tabbed, lessons scripted. I aided, illustrations for handouts, whimsy, her praise bomb. Genius. Peck reward, coffee steam between. First day she left, crisp blouse, kiss lingering door. Be good, I teased, heart twinge absence. Evening return, effusive stories tumbling. Hug bone crush. Missed you. Bed claimed quick. Exhaustion mingling desire, sleep swift entwined. Balance held but illnesses echo tested, October chill. Cold settling, joints ache. Bedside revisited, voluntary, her soup steaming broth. Me sketching her vigil tender. Not refusing, she clarified, spoon hovering. Choosing. Gratitude swelled, kiss broth flavored. Lucky me. Holidays neared, Thanksgiving planned, Emma's turkey brine scent, pies bubbling. But flare hit eve, fever spiking, sudden chills racking. She cancelled, nestling close, ginger tea soothing, stories distracting, folktales twisted queer. Recovery slow but her presence constant, hands cooling cloths, whispers fierce. Through this, every time, gratitude deepened, love's roots sinking firm. Christmas morning, tree twinkling lights, gifts wrapped, newsprint, her novel outline bound. My ring simple band promise. Forever, she asked, slipping it finger. Refused to settle less. Laughter, tears, embrace eternal. New Year ticked in quiet. No parties, just us on the balcony. Champagne flutes chiming midnight. Fireworks smudging sky over the needle. Resolutions unspoken but felt health chased. Careers climbed, us fortified. Winter relented, gradual. Snow rare, dusting rooftops white. Melting to slush, sidewalks treacherous. Jamie's classes hit stride. Her stride, confident halls, feedback, glowing emails. They love the inclusivity modules, she crowed, twirling kitchen, apron flour dusted from bread kneading. I watched, heart swell, sketching quick, her joy lines fluid. My own work surged, commissions rolling. Designs bold, queer icons for local nonprofits, rainbows woven subtle. Exhibit soon, I shared, pins mock-up wall. Her cheer whoop, tackle hug, spilling pins. Proud doesn't cover. Kiss celebratory, flower smearing cheeks, clownish. Spring burst verdant, cherry blossoms, pink blizzard streets. Our garden riot green, shooting blooms, nodding bees. We harvested early, salads, peppery arugula. Radishes, crisp snap. Farmers market, Saturdays, stalls groaning. Haggling berries, juice-stained fingers. Her bargaining fierce, my berry thefts playful. One market morn, sun-warm shoulders. She paused, stall vintage rings, tarnished silver. This, she said, holding moonstone cabochon set. Glow opalescent. For you. Eyes question hopeful. Heart stutter, nod quick. Perfect. Slipped finger beside band, cool then warming. Stroll home arm in arm, berries basket swinging, chatter futures light. Exhibit night loomed, nerves electric, gallery Fremont warehouse chic. Exposed brick echoing heels. I paced apartment, slacks creased, shirt crisp. Breathe, she coached, straightening collar, lips brush. You're stellar. Arrival buzzed, crowd milling, wine glasses clinking, murmurs art. My pieces hung, bold abstracts, emotions inked. Titles evocative, vigil. Refusal. Her arm looped mine, anchor, whispers encouragement, ear. See? They're hooked. Mingling surreal handshakes, compliments washing, her pride palpable, hand squeeze. Closing toast, owner might crackle, words praise, my vision raw. Applause thrum, her kiss temple public unashamed. After party, dive bar, beers foaming, friends toasting, raucous. To Alex, queer visionary. Laughter boomed, her eyes shine over rim. Home late, adrenaline crash, love-making fervent, walls thin, moans, hushed giggles. Star, she murmured after, tracing collarbone, lazy. Summer sabbatical, hers, us road-tripping, coastal, 101 stops, clam chowder bowls steam. Tide pools, starfish vivid, motels, neon flicker. One night, eureka, ocean roar, window, her story spun, candlelit, YA heroines brave. Inspired you, she admitted, pen pause. Mutual, I replied, sketchpad, her muse. Return tan, tails stalked, her manuscript swelling pages. I beta read sections, feedback gentle, praise lavish. Voice sings, I said, kiss punctuation. Fall brought harvest festival fair. Pumpkins mound orange, hayrides creak laughter. We carved jack-o'-lanterns, grins toothy, seeds sticky guts. Halloween party, friends costumes us as 1920s flappers, fringe sway. Garters peak, dances close, gin fizzes tart. Winter solstice approached, her novel query letters winged agents. Responses trickling, yes thrilling. Short list. She squealed, spin me dizzy. Celebration dinner out, il fornaio, pasta twirl fork, wine deep red. To breakthroughs, clink crystal. But shadow fell January, checkup routine, blood draw, wait eternal. Results mixed, markers creeping, doc frown. Monitor close. Lifestyle tweaks. Home heavy, her hand, mind drive, silence thick. We'll adjust, she vowed, voice steady, mine not. Regimen strict, meds, pill sorters click. Diet greens bitter. Exercise walks, labored breath. She joined runs reluctant. Her pace match mine, encouragement soft. 1 foot. Then next. Flares hit sporadic, bed claiming. Her vigil evolved, soups varied, curry spice warm. Stories fresh, chapters read aloud, voice modulate characters. One low night, pain no relentless, tears hot. Tired fighting, confess small. She cradled, rock gentle, hum lullaby old. Not alone. Ever. Sleep claim, tear streaked. Resilience built, incremental, strength returning, stealthy. Spring again, garden resurrection, weeds yanked, soil turned dark. Resilient, she noted, trowel beside, sweat bead. Like us. Hand muddied, clasp. Exhibit 2, larger venue, sales trickle then flood. Buzz Media Queer Mags feature. Interview nerves, her prep mock questions, laugh ease. Publication news broke summer, her agent call, shriek joy. Deal. Print run. Champagne pop fizz, hugs crush. Launch party, bookstore, Elliott Bay. Stacks her books crisp, signings line winding. Dedication page to Alex, my refusal, my home. Tear prick, pride swell. Readings, voice steady, crowd wrapped, Q&A fire. After us, balcony overlooking city hum below. Did it, she breathed. We. Kiss seal. But health wobble, autumn. Flare vicious, hospital overnight, 4 drip, cold vein. Monitors beep, sterile. She bedside, literal, chair vigil, hand hold through night. Here. Whisper constant. Discharge weak, home nest, recovery slow, broths bland, walks block short. Her sabbatical end, but flexibility, 1 part-time teach, writing priority. Winter holidays, hybrid, Emma's turkey. Our tree ornaments clink, memories. Gifts thoughtful, her locket photo us, my plot land cabin future. New Year Eve, balcony again, resolutions voiced, health hold. Books more, love deeper. Fireworks bloom, her toast to refusals honored. Kiss midnight, promise renewed. Spring wedding fever, friends elopement witness, vows tear-choked, rings exchange sun-dappled. Inspire, she said after drive home. Our ceremony planned summer small beach, vows handwritten sea spray. Rehearsal nerves her calm anchor. Day dawned perfect, waves lap gentle, guests circle intimate. Dresses white linen breeze, her eyes lock mine eternal. Vows spill raw, refused leave heart. Mine chose stay soul. Kiss seal, cheers wave crash, rings silver ocean etched. Honeymoon cabin Olympics, trails familiar, lake swim cold shock joy. Nights firelit, bodies know new again, whispers forever. Return married, life sink deeper, routines ritual, coffee share, bed claim mutual. But illness echo faint, annual scans clean sigh collective. Stable, doc affirm. Garden bounty, bookshelves mingled, hers mine, walls art ours. One anniversary, bedside voluntary, her head lap, my fingers hair comb. Still refuse. Tease soft. Always. Kiss upside down, laughter bubble. Life wove tapestry threads tested, colors vibrant. Years layered like Seattle's fog, thickening then lifting. Our story etched in routines refined, milestones marked. Marriage settled easy, rings tan lines summer, patina winter. Home evolved, ours walls repainted sage, shelves groaning tomes and canvases, garden plot expanded herbs, fragrant windowsill pots. Jamie's novels stacked bestseller lists, tours whirlwind, airports hum, hotel lobbies echo, but returns airport run, my arms open, jet lag kisses airport carpet. Missed, always first word, bags drop thud. My studio bloomed, commissions global, queer campaigns bold, billboards Times Square pride. Gallery shows annual, crowds swell, her arm mine constant, whispers critique private. Health held vigilant, meds routine swallow, scans yearly ritual weight nail bite, results clear exhale shared. Flares rare whisper, managed swift, her soups evolved gourmet miso ginger zing. Kids entered quiet foster first, teen girl wary eyes, backpack clutched fortress. Temporary, social worker caveat, but her stay stretched months, thawing slow dinners tentative chatter, hikes trails her pace match, stories Jamie's books bridge. Adoption papers signed rainy Tuesday, her name ours chosen Riley, grin first real spark. School runs carpools chaos, parent nights her domain, my art classes after school doodles wild. Parenting raw uncharted tantrums door slam echo, triumphs hugs bone squeeze. Nights tag team lullabies hum, her folk tunes mine graphic bedtime tales monsters slain ink. Anniversaries stack beach renewals waves witness, vows evolved still choose, rings twist familiar. Career peaks hers TED Talk stage lights glare, words ripple global. Mine mural commission wall-sized community center, unveiling crowd gasp her tear discreet. Challenges crested her burnout tour weary, collapsed couch sob my hold steady pause. We hold. Sabbatical co-planned cabin retreat, writing woods my sketches nature muse. My slump creative block canvas blank stare, her gentle walk. See. Lake stroll inspiration dawn, lines flow renewed. Riley's teen storm hormones hurricane, coming out letter folded tear stain like mom's, hug triple fierce. Support circle wide aunts Emma's clinic talks, books Jamie's signed. Grand gestures small daily coffee note scribble, love lingers. Her. Sketch surprise her laugh lines captured mine. Aging crept subtle grays threading hair silver, hers blonde mine auburn. Joints protest morning creak walks slower savor. 15th anniversary, bedside revisited voluntary flu knock minor. Her vigil soup steam, stories old retold college mishaps, laughter cough punctuate. Still refuse. I ask hand clasp age spotted tinder. Stubborn as ever. Kiss forehead linger. Eyes crinkle shared history. Riley college bound dorm pack tears prick. Drive teary sing-alongs radio blare. Drop off hug crush proud. Her voice crack. Empty nest echo, us reclaim dance kitchen slow sway, red wine swirl. New chapter, toast clink. Travel filled voids Europe rambles cobble ache feet, gelato drip chin. Asia spice burn tongue temples incense curl. Home anchor. Garden legacy Riley's plot weeds pull visit. Health shift inevitable doc manageable. Pills adjust her research voracious support group share. One winter harsh flare grip tight hospital again. Monitors beep familiar. Her chair vigil hand hold vein tubes. Here. Whisper anchor. Recovery homebound her bedside novel read chapter fresh. Voice modulate heroine's fierce. For you dedicate page. Spring bloom defiant walks park bench perch birdsong trill her head shoulder lean. Grateful, murmur fingers lace gnarled. Summer wedding Riley's her hand mine witness. Vows echo ours choose daily. Aunties roll joy nibblings toddle chaos. Laps claim story time. Autumn leaves turn, our 50th loom distant. Plans vague cabin vow renew. One eve fire crackle her book lap my sketchpad knee Riley call video grin. Love yous chorus. Bed claim mutual bodies fit worn puzzle breath sink slow. Best refusal, she whispers sleep edge. Best want, reply kiss seal. Legacy wove us threads daughters books art ripple. Illness foe tamed ally story depth. Final vigil not bedside death. But life bedside birth grandchild cry wail. Her arms hold tiny tears joy. Cycle, she breathes pass me swaddle warm. Refusal evolved legacy stay woven eternal. In twilight years porch swing creak, hands clasp vein map, sunset guild. Worth it, unanimous. Fade gentle her refusal echo heart stay. And I do forever.